Hey guys, Joe here and welcome to my channel, Not So Average Joe. So, I'm now going to react to a new documentary film, the new Anton Yelchin documentary film, which is called Love, Antosha. And it's really interesting. I mean, there's been a lot of this in the past 5-6 years, of a lot of actors, artists, musicians, a lot of people that are well known in public life, and celebrities, that when they die they have a documentary written about them, whether it's Senna, whether it's Amy, as in the Amy Winehouse documentary, whether it's, I'm trying to think of a few, I've actually forgotten now, I only made like two. You know, David Bowie deserves one, but we've had Whitney Houston, we have more than one for Whitney Houston, and there's been a lot of, you know, documentaries. We've got Pavarotti coming out soon as well. You know, a lot of documentaries on that matter about celebrities that have died. Anton Yelchin's an unusual one because he's not hugely well known. He's not such a big figure that I could have imagined him to get a documentary about him. However, there are things that have happened in his life other than his death, obviously. Him dying young was, a tragedy. He was just pretty much becoming more and more well known and sort of getting an international following as well as a national following in a lot of the films he did. And he's well known for Star Trek, but he's also done films, voiceover films for the Smurfs. He's done Only Lovers Left Alive, and he did the remake of Fright Night. He's well known in terms of some of the films where he's becoming more well known, and then he died before he fully got to come to his full potential. Thoroughbreds as well was a film I really enjoyed in 2017, and that was pretty much one of his last films, or his last film, I'm not sure. But what this documentary could focus on, let me think. I know after he died there was a lawsuit between him and the owner of the car manufacturer. I think it was Chevrolet or something. The car manufacturer that built his cars, and in the end basically his car killed him. It rolled down after he got out of his car and pinned him between the wall of his house and like a pillar and the car, and he died of asphyxiation and being crushed basically. But apparently loads of issues like this had happened before with that car manufacturer, so they got sued. So it could revolve partially around that. It could just revolve around his career, around his early life. He was born in Russia and moved to the US. It might focus around the themes of why he moved to the US from Russia as a baby, why his parents had to leave or wanted to leave, and then focusing on his career up to that point, up to the point of death. So I expect that this will be a bit like Amy, actually, in terms of the documentary feel. It's going to start with him in his early life, how he came to fame, how he started going a bit downhill. I think he took drugs and stuff like that as well. I could be wrong. I'll be corrected, or correct me if I'm wrong. And then after his death, the tributes, what we can learn from his death, and maybe the lawsuit, etc. But let's just watch it and we'll see what this trailer has to offer. Let's just go straight into it.
The thrill of making movies and studying characters and getting to work with people that you respect and admire is so far superior to everything else.
Hey, Mark.
At least for me, that's how I think about things.
The actor Anton Yelchin is with me, and you are shooting yet again.
Reminds me of Amy quite a lot
The first
already.
thing I consciously said to my folks, I want to do this. I want to make movies.
From early fame and
Really large
childhood.
number of years. You've done so much.
Next tonight, here to the stunning death in Hollywood.
Police are saying it appears to be a freak accident that killed the 27-year-old actor.
Joined the 27 Club, like Amy.
For this to happen were just cataclysmically unfair,
My parents came to this country not knowing a word of English and just started to work. My mom, I owe her everything for believing in me.
He had a curiosity that with most people degrades over time.
I was so kind of baffled by how good he was. I wanted to be better, smarter, cooler, but couldn't even hang with him.
Who he was as an artist was so far beyond acting, because he could do everything.
It looks like the actor who plays Spider-Man.
Photo shoots in the valley on the side. I mean, he was the kind of guy that did everything on the side. certain images I can't get out of my mind.
For Chris Pine to be freaked out about what Anton did means it was out there.
There's always that courage to go into the darker parts of himself.
What are you waiting for? Were you always confident that you are good enough to make it in the industry?
I mean, I'm still not very confident in that.
One more, right away.
He was always going further than the rest of us.
This feels more of a celebration.
Much of a break.
I like that it's upbeat, mostly.
He was so intense to find situations that would challenge him.
I want to make things, and I want to express a particular point of view that I have.
When he was little, every day, he would trade cards. Dear Mommy, I love you so very much. Love, Antosha. It's no gifts better than those.
Okay, so there's not much. There seems to be no focus on a lot of the negatives. You know, whether it's a lawsuit that happened after his death, it's just focusing on his life and his death and his work. And you know, I really like that. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of Amy in that respect. You know, mostly, you know, there are some controversies, I'm sure, as well, but it mainly focuses on all the positives. And a lot of reviews saying it's heartbreaking. It's going to be quite an emotional film about him and his life. And yeah, but there's one line in particular that came up in the trailer that really interested me, if I can find it. Yes. So a posthumous gift from Yelchin himself, which is a clip from a review done by nonfix.com. That straight away explains it all. So also, much like Cobain Montage of Heck, which is another film I absolutely love. I thought it was a great film. The whole film, pretty much from Montage of Heck, was just footage and tapes and drawings and extracts, as well as interviews from other people and from himself regarding Kurt Cobain. And it was all just on his work, and it was all an uplifting documentary about everything that made him him. And you know, it's such a beautiful documentary. This looks like it's along the same vein, where they focus a lot on his, you know, his photography, his acting career, him as a young child, home videos, you know. And that style of documentary opens it up to a more personal feel. So it's not just about this person's career and what's happened and blah blah blah. It's also more personal. Family members are involved, you know, home videos. And I'm not surprised that it's probably going to be an emotional journey, this film, and why people are finding it quite a heartbreaking film, because it's all about him and, you know, his life and death. And I can't think of a better way of portraying him in a documentary. So I'm really looking forward to this. I've got high hopes, and it's good to learn something new about him. You know, like I said, he wasn't massively, gigantically well known. He's not, you know, you wouldn't expect a documentary of Anton Yelchin, but I'm glad they're doing one, because it allows more people to, you know who he is, and to celebrate him and his life and the work that he's done. And it seems like it's, you know, a documentary on human triumph. Like I said, he moved over from Russia as a baby with his parents, and it's all about how he himself and his personality has triumphed and given him such a great career. And, you know, there's loads of people around him that love him, and it's going to be a nice, uplifting but also heartbreaking documentary to watch. So I'd recommend that maybe people go and watch this. I know it's probably not going to have a wide release. Many documentaries don't, unless it's a big one like Amy or you know, the Whitney Houston documentaries, etc. But I'd really, really recommend it, and I fully expect that there'll be documentaries soon on David Bowie and Prince and, you know, some of the others. You know, we've had one on Prince already and Nina Simone, but there'll be more, I'm sure. Yeah, I really cannot wait for this, and it looks interesting. I have a feeling my cinema will probably get this. We do show quite a lot of documentaries, and yeah, let's just wait and see. And I'll probably end up doing a review for this one when it comes out. We'll have to wait and see. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell at the top if you want more updates on videos that I just released, and join my Instagram account for film reviews, and make sure you keep watching. See you soon.